You probably started your business from your passion and your skills and your talent, and you were really excited. But then you start growing, and at certain points, it becomes really difficult to stay confident. So, today I want to talk to you about fear of failure, imposter syndrome, and all of those really shitty things that happen to you as you're growing your business so you can get back to being confident and stepping into your power as your business grows. Hello, and welcome to the FastForwardAmy show, the show where we lift your life and business with simple strategies. I'm FastForwardAmy, your host and coach, and I'll bring you a new episode every Tuesday. This past weekend, I was at a rally with my dad. No surprise there, I do those often. And I was just upstairs looking at my laptop. It was 2 days ago. And I went downstairs. My dad was sitting at the bar. He'd already ordered a really great bottle of red wine. And I walked up to him almost in tears and he said, "What's up?" And I was like, I just feel like, and I choked up and I said, I just feel like I suck. I just feel like I can't do anything well. I know rationally that's not the case, but I just feel like such a failure because I feel like there's nothing I can do well other than reviews I get. But in building my businesses, I just feel like the only things I see or am doing are just wrong or not enough, or I dropped the ball. And he just looked at me, he handed me the glass of wine. He said, like, that is totally not true. And also, this is normal because you can't expect gratitude. You are at a phase where you're just gonna always be taking stuff on, but it's never gonna be fully balanced. And as we were talking about all of that, like you can agree or you can disagree, I also realized, I've been at this phase so often. It's a pattern that keeps coming back. It's called fear of failure. It's called imposter syndrome. It's all of those things combined. And for me, it comes out at times when I feel wildly uncomfortable. It happened when I had my first client who was going to show up in my home gym and I was almost peeing my pants. It happened when I had to make really difficult phone calls. It happened when I was in a discussion with my business partner in my second business. It has happened when I had my first team member. It happens when I have 6 team members, when I have 10 team members. When it happened when I had 17 clients and I thought one of them was not satisfied. It happens now. Long story short, I realized as I was feeling that way, like, oops, this is just, again, my quarterly crisis of doubt. And if I'm being honest with you, lately, as I've been growing so hard in my business and we're gearing up to becoming, a really profitable multi-million-dollar business, have my second business, we have more than 10 full-time team members. It has happened so often in the last 2 years that I think many people would have quit by now. But the thing is, you can't quit, and knowing that it is actually normal can be really comforting. So today in this podcast episode, number 102, I want to talk to you about those doubts and fears I encounter, that you might be encountering, and I kind of want to normalize it, because for me, the moment I think I suck more than most and this is terrible and I can't do any of this, it makes me feel like I should quit, like I should give up. But when I realize it is normal, it helps me so much, because when I know that it will also pass. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. It doesn't matter if you are growing from 0K to 5K months, or if you are working from 15K to 20K or more, or even higher, those doubts will keep coming back. And that is because I have this little metaphor that I teach my clients in the Business Freedom Elevator in the Mindset module. We have, imagine there's this circle around you and it's your comfort zone. Now imagine that, 50, 100 meters further, there's a different circle. And that's where the gains are, the growth lies. You are here, you need to go there. But at the side of the place where you need to run, on the side, on both sides, on the left and on the right, are a bunch of really mean teenagers, and they are holding dodgeballs. And as you try to go to that spot of growth, that spot where all the gains are, you run there, all of a sudden you realize you weren't just running there, but you were tied to this elastic band, keeping you to that first circle, the one that was surrounding you. You're running there and you feel that the elastic band is trying to pull you back. Not only is the elastic band trying to pull you back, but there are just people throwing dodgeballs at you and you're trying to avoid them. But sometimes you just get hit in the face, hit in the thigh. It really hurts. And before you know it, you start looking at the balls instead of looking at the spot where you want to go. You get distracted, you're in pain, and you get pulled back and you end up back in your comfort zone. That's how I see growth. That's how I see going from a really comfortable spot to the spot where growth lies. And what has really helped me as I've grown as an entrepreneur, and it helped me this weekend again, is realizing that those growing pains are normal. Now, for you, it might be that you have to have a really difficult conversation with a client right now because you want to tell them you're not working with them anymore, or you're changing your offer, you're changing your prices. Or it might be that you've started to outsource, but the quality of something isn't really great, and you are afraid to tell that person. It might be that you are growing from an entrepreneur to actually becoming an entrepreneur and a manager because you have people to manage. And you might just be feeling insecure because it seems like your competition is doing way better than you are, and you are stuck in an Instagram scrolling battle with yourself. It doesn't really matter in which phase of your business you are. What I want you to know is that it's going to keep coming back, and it comes back for me too. Now, I go to a coach, I have a business coach, I have a psychologist, I have all of that. And at the basis of that imposter syndrome lies a lot of worthiness issues, a lot of enoughness. And this might come from your childhood, where you were taught that maybe you were only loved if you performed really well. I was always the typical straight A student as a kid. I wanted to perform really well. I had fear of failure when I was 6 years old, and I actually had to start taking tests in a separate room because I always wanted to do everything really, really well. I always wanted to show my parents I did everything really well. So right now, when I see that I messed up in planning, I did something wrong in my business, I let my team down, sometimes it almost crushes me. And I can't even really tell anyone because literally you're at the top of the ladder and you should be helping everyone get to that new spot, and you should actually be making them feel a little bit comfortable along the way too, and normalizing all things. It's just really difficult. And even though I've worked on it a lot, I think it would be insane to say that growth stops, or that maybe someday I'll get over all of it. But what I do know is being kind to myself, normalizing it has helped me, and it has helped me to work with a psychologist and a coach through all of this. And know that when you are an entrepreneur, when you're working for yourself, when you want to be growing and going to that spot of being really uncomfortable and getting hit by those dodgeballs, know that that spot of growth, that spot of gains where you're on your way there, but you're getting hit by those dodgeballs, after a while, that will become your new normal. So that will become your new spot of comfort. The tricky part is then there will be a new circle where you want to run towards, and new dodgeballs hitting you. But what you're feeling right now, it will fade. It's like when you have that first difficult conversation with a client. The next time it gets easier, it gets easier. It's like having your first launch versus having your fifth launch. You kind of know the drill. It becomes more of a new normal. So I want to talk you through a few tips of how I've been dealing with this. Also, I don't know if the full buildup of this episode makes sense. I've also included a visual of the circles if you're listening to me and thinking, what the fuck, Amy? So if you go to fastforwardamy.com/102, you'll find the visual so you kind of get what I mean. Maybe I should make an animation of this and just film myself going from one circle to the next and getting hit by balls. Sure, getting hit by balls. Sorry. I'm certain my team would love setting up this video. Let's plan that in as a reel. Wow, it's gonna be such a viral reel. It's like those kids when they're like, this kid never gave up, and she tried the jump 10 times and she always fell down and then she made it. That's kind of you running away from the dodgeballs. So the thing is, the dodgeballs are gonna keep hitting you, but they're not gonna hit you as much if you keep being focused on the end goal, where the gains lie. So as I said, this episode is mainly me motivating you, and I wanna just give you a few tips if you're feeling really down, you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I've said that, I can't do this. What if I wasn't made to do this? I just can't, I don't want to anymore. I want to quit. Maybe I should just quit. I've even thought to myself, and this is very epic of me saying that with my team in the room, but I've thought multiple times, I'll fire everyone and I'll go back to just doing it by myself. Maybe I shouldn't grow the business. Maybe I should just keep it small, just make a good amount of money, run the entire program myself, do everything myself, the scheduling, the things, all the things myself. And I could live like that, right? But the problem with that is that it is not really me talking. Because Amy, FastForwardAmy, she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to give up. She loves her team. She loves growing. She loves helping people grow. But she's sometimes just in pain because of the dodgeballs hitting her. So there's a few things that Amy uses to get to that next point and to stop feeling that pain and to start feeling the abundance and the love and the joy of what she does. And the first thing is, the biggest thing is the mindset switch, is that the moment you start thinking, I should quit, I can't do this, I'm gonna give up, is you need to realize that at that point, your mindset is really royally fucking you over because you are in a place of fear, you're in a place of scarcity, and that is the exact opposite of what you need if you wanna be growing. You need to be in a place of abundance. You don't want to be standing in that circle and thinking, all of those people are going to throw the balls at me. Oh my God, the balls, the balls, the balls. You won't even leave the circle. But if you are in a place of abundance, you're like, you know what? I know these balls might hit me, but if I run really, really fast and I'm really determined, I'll get to that next circle. I'll get to that next safe spot, abundant spot, whatever. You want to shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Instead of looking at how hard things are, you could look at how much more you can accomplish. For me, it means how much more can I accomplish when I'm working with my team? How much more joy do I experience? How much more rewarding is it that people aren't saying just, hey, Amy, thanks for the coaching, but hey, Amy and your team, thank you so much for changing my life. I can create so much more impact, so much more joy by working with a team. For you, you could stay behind your computer and just write ebooks because it's much more comfortable than getting on video and getting shot down because your video quality sucks. But you will be able to impact people much more if you create a video instead of writing an ebook. That's just a small example. There are all kinds of things where you are acting from scarcity because something is easier, because something won't hurt as much. But because you're doing that, you also won't get to experience the full experience of really having that abundance. So look at your self-talk. Are you saying I can't or I can? Are you saying I want to quit or I believe I can get there? Because there is the really big difference between fear and belief. The biggest things I've accomplished in my life, like buying my $1 million house when the bank told me I couldn't, getting that phone call in the bank telling me, hey, we have good news and bad news for you. The good news is the committee made a decision. The bad news is they denied you the loan. The moment that happened, I was in Italy, it was last year, and I was actually at a pool, and I was just standing there and thought, oh my God, what if they're right? What if I can't do this? And that fear and immense sense of scarcity and self-doubt really, really, really overcame me. And it took me a while to be like, okay, I'm feeling all of these feels. I almost have to cry. I experienced all of that. And at a certain point, I made a decision, and I made a decision to say, you know what? Fuck you. I can do this. I am worthy. I'm worthy regardless of what I do or what people say. And if you won't support me, you'll keep throwing those balls at me, basically, fine. I'll keep going to that spot where I want to go. And it doesn't really matter if you hit me with the balls, because I'll put on this little sumo suit. Won't hurt as much. I'll still feel them, but I'm not going to be looking at the dodgeballs. I'm going to be looking at where I want to go. So that summer, I said, fuck you. I'll make it cash. I'll pay for it cash than the house. Now, obviously, I was still planning on finding a loan at a different bank because that's just smarter. But I did say, I'll make it myself. I'll make sure I have all of the cash I need to pay for that house. And I went all in on myself. And I didn't have the luxury of letting that fear and that scarcity mindset infiltrate in my brain, because that was energy that I needed to hit my goal. So I decided I'm going to skip all of the negativity. I'm just going to focus on my goal. And right now in my business, it's the same. I can focus on everything I can't do or I'm not good at yet, or I can focus on what I can do and what I want to be able to be really good at. So the difference is fear and belief. And if you look back at everything you've accomplished in your life, how you've grown from working for someone else to working for yourself as a side hustle, to working for yourself full-time, to maybe asking out that guy that you really wanted to date, to, I don't know what you want to do, you had a belief in yourself at a certain point. Or you had a belief in what you were doing. Because sometimes the belief in ourselves can be a little bit icky, but we can still believe in what we do. Sometimes during a launch, I'll be like, hey, can I do this? But then I'll think, I really believe in my program. So yes, I can do this because I owe it to the world to offer this to people. So belief is the key aspect that we need to be focused on instead of fear. It doesn't mean you can't be afraid, because being fearless, I think that's almost impossible unless you've done even more mindset work than I have. And believe me, I still have a long way to go. But when you focus on that belief, it is so much more rewarding. It's so much more fulfilling. It feels so good to be working on it because it's loving yourself more, believing in abundance. It just feels so much better than basically telling yourself to be smaller. It's telling yourself to be bigger and to go after what you want. And you know what? You can run into a wall. The ball will hit you in the face, but it's fine. Keep believing you'll get there, and you'll get there. It's about actually knowing you will get there. If you look at anyone in Formula One, they will all tell you all of the different, like look at the first episode of Formula One of Drive to Survive on Netflix. You have Daniel Ricciardo saying, ever since I was a little kid, I pictured myself being there, driving there. His mom says, I never thought I'd see my son drive here, but that's a different story. All of those drivers have envisioned themselves getting there. There are only 20 Formula One drivers in the world currently racing. 20 or 22? 20. They all pictured themselves getting there. They all believed, they had this unwavering belief they would get there. Did it get hard? Sure. Did it have to beat a bunch of people to get there? Yeah. AKA, they got hit in the face so often. Lack of sponsorship deals, no funds, their family having to give up everything for them. Failing. You know how many times you lose at Formula One? Almost always. But they stay focused on that win. The people who succeed at Formula One, who get to that first spot on the podium, are the people who believe they can win, not the ones who are thinking about failing all the time. So you need to stop thinking about failing. You need to start focusing on winning. You need to be playing to win. Otherwise, it will never work. When you focus on playing to win, you'll still fail. But when you're focusing on failing, you'll fail all the time. So this is me telling myself I need to stop making jokes and being sad about all the things I can't do and focus on what I'm really good at. You know what I'm really good at? Motivating people. I'm really good at motivating my team. Last week, we had this amazing day of sales and joy and everyone's so happy. And I need to stop saying, I can't get organized. I'm not good at getting organized. I need to be like, you know what? I'm the planning master. I'm going to put that in my affirmations. I'm the planning master. I'm looking ahead all the time. You're talking to me in 2021? Can't hear you because I'm already in 2022. That's the new me. Okay? I'm going to focus on what I can, and what I can't, I'm going to keep going until I can do that. I want you to do that with me. And I still have a few more tips for you to do that. When you are doing things and it's failing, for example, when you're in a launch, instead of thinking this is all or nothing and oh my God, I'm failing, stop thinking of it as an all or nothing and start thinking of it as being a test. It's just a test. You're just trying stuff. You're just trying to get there. You're going there. Do watch your self-talk and don't say, I'm just trying too much to yourself, but do kind of like take some of the pressure off that it's like a do or die thing, you know? It's just a test. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to grow in what you're doing. After a while, you will get better and better at it. For example, launching is a really great example of that. Webinars is a great experience. Going live, for example, or Instagram posts. You know, not every Instagram post is like gonna make or break it. It's just you getting better at making Instagram posts, or you getting better at talking to clients or training clients, whatever, or painting the canvases. I don't know what you do. Second tip. You know, we talked about the fear and belief, and I already hope you're super fired up. I also hope if you like this episode, by the way, I would really like to get some new people to the FastForwardAmy show. This is just me being me on this show. And if you like it, please do leave a review on Apple Podcasts, for example, or like screenshot this, share it to your stories. I would really love to inspire more people. Why am I saying this? For the longest time, I've been in this limiting belief of like, I can't grow the podcast. I can grow the podcast and I want you to grow it with me. So pretty please, if you like this, I'm not even going to bribe you with anything. If I've done anything for you ever or given you an aha moment, please grant me this share and tag me on Instagram. Okay. So the second thing I wanted to tell you is, instead of thinking, I have to do this, or why do I have to do this, or I don't want to do this because it's hard, think, I get to do this. I get to try this. I get to do this. Yesterday, I was looking up places to stay at with my friends to go skiing. I was like, oh my God, why do I have to do this? I hate doing this. And then I thought, you know what? I get to do this because it's something I think I'm not good at. It's like looking up the accommodations. I thought, I get to do this. I'm so grateful to do this. With my team, I get to look at how I can make my team grow. With your clients, the first time you have those clients, I get to figure out how to give them an amazing experience. I get to ask for feedback. I get to fail. I get to try all of this. You get to. You don't have to. No one is making you. You get to. And that's an amazing gift. Third up, YAHOO. You always have other options. I learned this from Georgie Fear, the YAHOO principle. You always have other options. It means you can always change. You can make a decision and change afterwards. You're not like making a blood oath about the direction your business is taking right now or the decisions you're making. If you get too uncomfortable because you're literally bleeding or burning out, you get to step back. You don't have to literally get murdered by the dodgeballs. You always have other options. You get to change what you're doing later down the road if it turns out you want to change it. Fourth, as I already said, normalize what you're going through. Anytime I am at the extreme suckiness level, I think, oh, wait, this is normal. Either I just have to get my period, or this is that crisis of doubt that comes back and I'm experiencing a little bit of struggle with worthiness, or I'm tired or whatever. Normalize what you're going through. I can hand it to you like 100% certain. Other entrepreneurs have been where you are. It is normal. I am still there. Probably our self-work and the mindset work will never be done. So ride the wave. Take it with you instead of resisting it. And just think of it of like, okay, what is this teaching me? Okay, cool. I can focus more on my wins. I can focus more on I can. Oh, wait, what's happening with my self-talk? Oh, it's really negative. Let's switch it to positive. Go and work out some more. I don't know. Buy a boxing pole and just ram it. That's what I did yesterday. I just did a boxing session 10 minutes with myself and it was amazing. And I kicked and boxed on the punching bag. In the punching bag? I don't know. My English is flying out of the window, as we would say. So, and last but not least, you gotta be focusing on the positive. Obviously, these are all different ways of saying the same thing. Focus on the abundance, focus on the positive, focus on the impact you get to be making. I know it's hard. No one ever said it was gonna be easy. Do you think J-Lo's path to success was easy? Do you think Beyonce's path to success was easy? Hell, if you even look at the Kardashians, do you think it's been easy for them to be that scrutinized by the media and all of those things? But they kept focusing on the positive. They maybe shielded themselves from things they didn't want to know or didn't want to see. And for you, that's the same. Don't focus on a negative review. Don't focus on that one negative client. Focus on the 20 positive clients. Focus on the impact you can make. Don't focus on that one bad experience you had. Focus on all of the impact and joy and positivity you can create. I hope this was a little bit motivating for you, but I also know growing can be really difficult. And you might be at this phase where you're like, okay, Amy, you've motivated the hell out of me. I hope I did. But you might be wondering what your next step in your business is because you want to be growing. Maybe you're at the point where you're like, Amy, I'm comfortable. I want to be uncomfortable, but what do I need to do to grow? I've got your back because I've created, together with my team, a growth quiz. And if you go to FastForwardAmy.com/growth quiz, you can fill that out and we're going to send you what we think is the best next step for you and your business in order to grow. So the link is in the description, FastForwardAmy.com/growth quiz. And before I finish off here, I want to just thank you for listening or watching. Well, I hope this struck a chord. It's always really uncomfortable, again, for me to share this because then I'll be like, oh my god, psychologists will listen and say, this girl really needs some work. Which is true, because we all need work, because we're all a little bit fucked up. And that is okay. You can be a little bit fucked up and still grow in your business and as a person. It's about being constructively not, I don't know what I want to say. It's just about focusing on the positivity while still wanting to improve yourself, I think. And if you want to improve yourself with me in a coaching program, know that I am opening, or we have the doors open for our Boss Up mentorship. And if you want to figure out how you can scale your business to 20K months and more, come and check it out through FastForwardAmy.com/bum, or just go to the link in the description and I'll see you there. We're now accepting new clients, so come on over and I would say join, because then you'll get 6 months of epic coaching with me with more realness and rawness like this. And I'll show you the behind the scenes of my business as we grow it. And it's pretty epic. So FastForwardAmy.com/bum. See you there. And if not, see you next week for a new episode of the Fast Forward Amy Show. Bye.